Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City Media podcast. Stepping up to the microphones are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Pull up your chair, grab your favorite brew, and enjoy the conversation. Now, let's get to the show.
Timothy, what up?
Sheesh, another day in paradise, my man, after a win.
Paradise. Wow.
That's what I say at work.
Started out stormy in paradise, didn't it? You got the rec specs on tonight.
I know, I'm sorry, guys. If you have contacts and like one day your eye just like twitching and it just fights you the entire time.
The eyelid twitch.
Yeah, that was today. And I was like, I can't do it with the contacts right now.
I'm glad that I have impeccable vision because I would never be able to put contacts on.
My vision's definitely better than yours with glasses on.
I cannot even put, what?
Yeah, my vision's better than yours. What is your vision?
Yeah, you're cheating.
I'm just letting you know.
I can't even put eye drops in.
Really?
I cannot keep my eye open to put eye drops in.
You get accustomed to it, I promise.
No, I promise. I wouldn't be able to. Timothy, what are we drinking this eve?
Oh, yeah.
We're back to the pints.
Yeah, this is Crazy Chain.
By the way, Timothy, I'm running out in the fridge.
I
Stock
think we
is
have
low.
another week.
Gonna need to resupply.
Yeah, no, I need to go pick out a couple new ones. I know there's some new beer out, so and some pretty cool cans, so I need to go grab those. This is Crazy Chain by Hampline.
7.2%.
Crazy Chain. They have a bike theme going on. I've kind of put that together.
It's really more of a. It is the bike. I keep thinking it's a trike.
But he's also wearing a chain with like a West. Never mind. We'll talk about that later.
A little New England style IPA.
It's just
Crazy Chain.
hazy IPA. I think that's what they're going with that, right?
All right, Timothy. We're supposed to be eating ribs right now, but
Yeah.
there's
What happened there?
literally a one and only down the street.
Yeah.
This could have been a perfect opportunity for Corky's to cater ribs.
Listen, boys, I'd like to apologize.
Corky's on a Monday night. Are you kidding me?
Why
fine.
not?
Let's hear the excuse, Kenny. That's all we care about.
Well, so let me tell you what happened.
What had happened
What
was
had happened was.
I went to One and Only. They said they were out.
No, they didn't.
What?
I don't believe you.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
What?
The smoke was bellowing as I just drove by.
We are not that far away from a Corky's. That's the only reason I threw it out as a
You
second
could
option.
probably Uber Eats it here, and it would be here before the end of the episode.
We could.
But
Let
you
me see.
won't.
Ew.
Would you like me to?
No, you're
Nah,
fine.
dude, you're good.
I'm going to.
Well, I don't know.
don't do it.
Let me get through this pint. I might hammer out a rack.
Are you a sauce? Are you
Nope.
more of like a...
Give me that dry rub.
You want a dry rub?
Dry rub.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so am I.
My
The
favorite
sauce
sign
is-
at game day was
messy, man.
Lee Corso loved dry rub.
Yeah. I mean, I like the sauce. Don't get me wrong. The dry rub is just so much easier.
I mean, I'll eat barbecue sauce, but I'm a big
by itself?
well, I don't know. Well, on something.
Is this Sweet Baby Ray's?
Yeah.
That's my go-to.
But I'm much more of a seasoned guy, like seasoned. Even on my wings, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care for sauce. I'm a big like dry lemon pepper, like
Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you.
seasonings.
I'm with you. With some ranch on it?
Yep.
Someone's going to fight me here, but honestly, the best wings I've had in a long time are from a pizza place.
You said that I think you said that not long ago, and that's blasphemy.
I mean,
No.
what's the pizza place? Are we
Go to
talking about, like,
Rotolo's
Domino's?
and get the Chalmette wings and come back. I mean, it's not like they are party wings. We are so far off topic. They are party wings, but it's like a buttery, garlicky sauce.
What's wrong with
They're
party wings?
meaty. No, I am team party wing. I ain't got time to break off a leg here, break it off there. It's just too much work for me.
I mean, I like a whole wing, but
Chalmette at Rotolo's. Let me know how they are. Fantastic.
they didn't have boneless wings.
Flats or drummies?
I think drummies.
I feel like we've had this conversation before.
I don't think so.
No,
I'm
we
team
had
drummy.
a full chicken nugget boneless conversation.
That's what it was. Oh, God.
They were boneless wings.
They were chicken nuggets.
I don't know that I'm not really.
The guy said, did you enjoy your chicken nuggets?
Speaking of which, Top Golf opens on Friday. Did you see that?
I did.
Did you see that in the news?
So for anyone not know what we're talking about, we were at a, I don't even remember how long ago it was. We were at a
This was in
Topgolf
March.
In March, okay, and I think in Nashville. And we're eating boneless wings just as like it's the easiest thing. You just hit it with the fork, bite into it, go swing the clubs, whatever. And a guy walked up and was like, "How are your chicken nuggets?" Like they're
Don't
fantastic.
we're not gonna
First of
relive this.
all,
I didn't order them. I wasn't even eating them, and I was offended.
I was eating them. They're fantastic.
All right, we're moving on. We talked about fast starts last week, and hey, I'll give the offense credit because they started fast.
I'm not sure.
March right down the field, first 2 drives, put tutties up. But the defense might as well have stayed in Memphis for the first half because that was disgusting.
Yeah, that first run by Jermaine Brown.
First run, the first drive, it was three plays in a tutty, less than a minute off the board.
Run was a Cam Smith missed tackle where I guess he just threw his arm into the guy. We do that a lot. And Jermaine Brown / S. Griffin, whatever you want to call him based off his jersey, that confused the hell out of me. For the
Dog, were y'all not confused the entire...
So confused.
I had to text the Discord because I missed wherever they announced that this was something, and 100%. I was like, well, I don't know what's going on. The quarterback's last name says Green. They keep calling him Barker or whatever the hell they were calling him. I was like, something's going on.
Well, they said the same thing with Brown. They were like, oh, big run by Brown. And I'm like, that fucking says Griffin. I was like, I think Brown's number 1, but that says Griffin.
But
I was so lost.
When you know what they were doing, it's cool.
Sure.
But would you have put it past Trent Dilfer to put somebody with the last name Izzo on their back and pretend like he's one of the guys they were supporting in that game and really trick everybody?
No, I put nothing past that guy.
That dude is a wild boy, man.
He's something.
His end of the third quarter interview was great. Did you see that?
I think I did.
I forget. She has something like, how do you, it was a rough third quarter. How do you guys get back into it? What do you need to do? And he was like, these interviews really suck, especially when you just got your ass kicked in the third quarter.
Then he said something like, I wish I knew how to stop. I wish I knew.
Yeah. It was amazing.
I didn't see that.
Why do
That
they
was great.
even do that? Like every coach hates that so much.
I don't know. What are you going to do?
Every coach hates it. Yeah, we looked awful. Not only did they come out and score in three plays, 75 yards, 56 seconds, they then just rub salt in the wound and go for 2 and get it very easily. And I was absolutely disgusted and furious at this point in time.
Someone said they didn't have a kicker.
I think that was floating around because they just kept going for 2 and kept going for it on 4th down early on.
I will say,
I mean, they ended up kicking the PAT on their last tutty, I think. But
I'm in
some
favor
of it's
of
probably
going
just
for
Dilfer
2.
trying to rub it in our face.
No, I'm in favor of going for 2 and going for it in certain parts of the field. Like if you're in plus territory, you just go for it on 4th down. I guess obviously that depends where you're at, right? But if it's like 4th and 1 and it's, you're at the 42, like I'm going for that. I think every time. You should be able to get 1 yard.
I said that this weekend on our group text.
And I think
You should be able to QB sneak it, and if it's a yard or less, and get it every single time.
I don't know about every single time.
Every time,
but like
TJ.
at a pretty high clip, yeah.
I mean, you literally can fall for it, and you get a first down.
Yeah, but there's someone pushing back against you. It's not you're just falling.
Not directly on you.
I don't know. I do think that they should start doing more like diagonal
Yeah, I mean,
quarterback and then have someone start pushing.
You can't
through
just
now.
go straight up Jacobs B.A.
Yeah, it's just.
You got to let's go one way or the other.
I think so too, or maybe even fake that, do like a direct snap elsewhere. They got to get creative with it.
Oh, like we did in the UCF game, we lined up like that. Snap it between Seth's legs.
Yes,
to a BT in the backfield.
perfect.
That's talk about a tough snap.
That is.
Defense was atrocious.
Hey, can we go back to the beginning of the game real quick?
I don't wanna.
Real quick. Did Trent Dilfer break bro code?
You talking about with the
Yes,
QB?
yes, he did.
Sitch.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to say because we're not there. They said he just didn't pass protocol that day. So at what point did he take the concussion protocol test? I have no idea. But I will tell you that Ryan was not happy in the radio post game about it at all.
Well, I think they're supposed to give you a list, and maybe they did, saying that, hey, he's questionable, he may not make it. I heard nothing over Zeno not playing.
Oh no,
Yeah,
it
up
wasn't. It
until,
wasn't until McMurphy tweeted it at I don't know
like literally as they were kicking off.
10:30 that he wasn't playing. I had no clue either. But yeah, Ryan was not happy. He said something to the effect of like, "I will always remain to be open and let people know what's going on injury wise and who is playing, who's not."
Sure.
They throw a quarterback out there with full pads and a helmet on, warming up, and then don't play him. That was obviously very annoying.
Yeah, I think that UAB was fully aware he probably wasn't playing. But just like Ryan, they're not going to get, typically this is Ryan's fashion is I'm not going to give anyone the advantage.
Yeah.
Per se. But I guess with injuries, it's a little bit different.
Well, when he first said that, I was like, did I hear him right? Because he is not open about injuries. I guess what he meant was, I will let you know if they're playing one way or the other. I'm not going to tell you what injury is or what happened.
I think he also may be pissed because this happened again. Not that it mattered. This happened already with Bethune-Cookman. All week they prepared for one quarterback, and then the last second it was that running quarterback.
Yeah. So. I don't know. To be honest, the first 30 minutes of the game, it didn't look like it was going to matter who played quarterback because they played 3 backup quarterbacks, and they were all lighting us up.
I will say that first touchdown pass was a great throw. That was just great throw and catch.
It was a good catch too.
Yeah, I don't know that it really mattered who was playing quarterback there, but yeah, just got to give them that. I don't even know who it was now because they literally
I think it was Barker started the game. McMurphy had said Landry Liddy. What a great name, by the way.
A lot of L's.
Was going to start. He didn't. I think it was Barker started, got the first tutty. Then Liddy came in like right before the half and got their last passing tutty. And that tight end was wide open over the middle.
Then they brought in the big guy,
the Trace Campbell kid.
Yeah.
Came in and got a quick 50 yards
passing. Well, he seemed like more like a runner. Like he seemed like he just wanted to run no matter what. I know he got 50 yards.
Which one was the Ole Miss kid? Was that Liddy?
Don't even let me lie to you, dude.
I think it was Liddy.
I think Liddy was from...
He was the runner, I thought. He ran a lot. Pretty much every time he was in the game, you could tell they were...
he had 1 carry for 11 yards, so I'm calling you a liar.
Well, maybe I got... Listen, there's 3 quarterbacks.
Trace Campbell had 6 carries for 38 yards.
Yeah, it must be. That's who it is.
I don't know.
No, Barker.
This says Liddy was at Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, Barker had 9 carries, 37. That's probably who you're talking about.
Whichever one was the Ole Miss guy, the transfer, yeah, he was... You could tell he was a runner.
I will say, you can pretty much
sum up... He's a runner. He's a track star.
You could sum up the first quarter for the most part of just missing tackles, right? And it happened on various plays. Arm tackling, it's something I think that we've gone through 3-4 weeks now, it feels like. Just people throwing an arm out, trying to stop a full-grown man.
I don't know what it was. The Navy game, Trace Campbell was the Ole Miss kid, by the way. The Navy game, a little bit understandable because you were on a short week and he came out and said, hey, we didn't do any contact whatsoever, no tackling leading up to the game. It's like, all right, okay, so it takes a half to kind of get the rust knocked off. This week, I have no idea what it was.
I mean, it was bad. In multiple occasions. I don't remember when, I think it may have been like the second or third quarter. There was like a swing pass to the outside, 2 DBs, boom, perfectly there. Both played it, squared up, and then just whiffed. And it turned into like a 14-yard play, and they got the first down, extended the drive.
I mean, it feels like it happens at various points in every game. I mean, you look back to last week. You had freaking why can't I think of his name? What's the Tulane quarterback's name?
Wiener Schnitzel?
Yeah. You had him on a 3rd and 12, Michael Pratt, and like 4 dudes missed the tackle, and he ends up getting a first down.
Yeah.
Super frustrating.
I do want to mention Jermaine Brown, who came out super hot against us.
Is he related to Journey? Because he ran all over us just like Journey.
Well, it's funny you mention that because the first quarter he had 5 carries for 62 yards. The second quarter, 5 carries, 13 yards. Third quarter, 2 carries, 6 yards. He had a goose egg in the fourth. So he went from 62 yards to not even 20 yards from there on out after that.
Well, to be fair, they were down several scores at that point.
So. No. In fact, they weren't down until the third quarter.
Yeah, which is when you just said he didn't have.
Well, I said he had 2 carries for 6 yards and then nothing in the fourth. I know, but he still only had 13 yards in the second.
I mean,
I would have been giving the ball to him nonstop.
We literally just slammed the door in their face.
Yeah,
they had 330 something yards in the first half and had like 40 total yards offensively in the second half.
Yeah, it was. I think it ended up being a little bit more just because like the final drive, like we're in prevent.
I mean, but what an absolute turnaround.
Oh, for sure.
After half, I had a little parlay going of the over of 63.5 and UAB to have less than 27.5. When they had 21 at half, I was like, all right, well, that one's done. What? Oh, me of little faith. Ye of little faith in the Tiger D coming out of the halftime tunnel.
What do you think was the turning point?
It was clearly your tweet.
I think so too. I don't want to be that guy, but prove me wrong.
TJ just said how embarrassing the defense looked, and Matt Barnes read that aloud in the locker room, and nothing else needed to be said.
I'm just saying.
They said, hey, TJ from Twitter's calling us out. We need to turn this shit around.
How many points was scored after that tweet was sent?
0.
I'm just saying.
I don't know
Throwing
exactly
it out there.
when
No,
you said
that's
it.
true. That's true.
Listen, when the number one Tiger football podcast in the country speaks, everybody listens.
I mean, they're reading TJ's Twitter throughout the entire game.
I
see what they need to do.
Honestly. We sit here and joke about how
Who's joking?
no, sorry. Like how porous the defense was the first half. One thing we haven't mentioned is the offense. It looked good.
That's what I was saying. The offense came out and started fast like we've been asking for.
I would argue that
I didn't think we needed to clarify that the entire team needed to start fast.
I think that may have been one of the best opening couple of drives in Gramsey's tenure here. I had lost my keys. I was walking around for the freaking hour looking for them, but I heard that one started off pretty hot on offense.
I mean, you had several very, very good drives in this game.
Well, I mean, in the first
You
quarter,
talk about the 15-play, 9.5-minute drive to put us up 45-21.
dude, I bet
That
Ryan was
loved it.
freaking salivating on the sidelines.
What
9 minutes?
What a drive.
Dude, 9 minutes?
9
That's
minutes.
a long
In
time.
collegiate football, that's a long time.
Well, yeah, it's more than half the quarter.
Yeah.
The first quarter, 42 passing yards, 52 rushing yards. And I took out Seth's rushing yards because those are obviously planned passes that just turned into runs. But, I mean, that's a pretty balanced attack. I mean, you're sitting here looking at it, and it wasn't just, feed Blake, which is kind of what I expected it to kind of be. But there was passing on first down. There was running on third down. It just, the way you look at it, it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah. I mean, I
feeling
never,
okay over there?
Yeah. But yeah, shout out to Blake, 21 carries, 125 and a tutty. Are we seeing a little bit of a BT
Resurgence, dude.
Yeah. Like what's going on there?
Oh,
Wolo said pre-game that BT was now second on the depth chart and Sutton had fallen to third.
and I don't think that's anything against Sutton by any means. I just think if you look at it from a pure running back perspective, I think Brandon is probably a better pure.
I think they
running
like him in the short yardage goal line
Sure.
situation
And
because
we've seen that.
I've never seen someone in my life that loves to fumble inside the 5 more than Blake Watson.
Sheesh. We got to, what was it, like the 5 yard? I want to say it was like the 5 or 6
He
yard
tried
line.
to hurdle somebody, and
It was just, it's meant to be. Granted, he did hurdle. He did not try to hurdle. He did hurdle one guy.
Okay.
And he got absolutely plowed by the second. He got hit real hard by the second guy. And
that ball shot straight out.
it did. It
That's
did.
3 fumbles inside the 5 in 7 games.
Part of me thinks it's okay, though.
That's disgusting.
Not okay, but like I'm gonna let Blake be Blake. Because if not, then he's not gonna be busting 40-yard runs. 20-yard runs, whatever the long
Just something
one
to
was.
watch. It hadn't hurt us yet.
Hurt us in the
Yeah, I would say
In the what?
what game was it?
Navy, they recovered it, but they didn't win the game. So that's why they didn't even score off of. We got a turnover immediately.
That's right.
after
It was
that.
the Navy game.
Still not even sure it was a touchdown. But
Now, the one that was could have been real bad was the Boise State one.
pick them.
He got the benefit of that being ruled a touchdown on the field, though.
Here's my question to get back on topic is, did the offense look much better because this is like a wake-up call, or was it because UAB is dog water?
It's probably because mostly that UAB is trash.
Respectfully.
But I'd like to think it was a wake-up call.
I mean, it very well could have been, right?
And I would say that we would maybe get an answer one way or the other this weekend, but I don't think we will because North Texas is dog waterier than UAB.
Defensively.
Yeah.
Defensively.
That's
I think
what
their
I'm-
offense is
that's
pretty
what I'm
good.
saying.
Yeah. Just wanted to clarify.
One thing I didn't have on my bingo card, Doyle and Lansfield tutties.
I mean,
Did you see that coming?
Doyle, no. He's kind of just been that extra body on the split runs, on any of the split zone stuff. Like, I don't think we've seen him in the passing game, have we?
But I got to give a quick shout out. Both of those plays were beautiful. It was basically the same play.
Yeah, it was the same play.
And Rock Taylor blocked his ass off on both of those plays. First one, straight up pancake. Second one just had his dude locked up 5 yards deep in the end zone. Not a chance they were stopping either one of those. That's what you need on plays like that, is the blocking on the outside, and Rock is doing it to perfection.
I mean, that's any of those little tunnel screens and things like that are on the outside, the smoke screen stuff. It's like, if you miss that block, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Right. And I think we kind of stopped running it because we failed. Rock is the one who is stepping back, taking the catch. And like at that point, who's blocking?
Yeah.
Love Kobe.
He can't
right?
catch
But,
and block.
Yeah, I love Kobe, but I'm not trusting him to sustain that block.
Shout out to Kobe, by the way.
He's the route running
six
lord.
catches on Saturday, 51 yards, led the team in receptions and yardage.
He does seem like Mr. Reliable lately, right?
It seems like he's open on every play, to be honest.
I will say, I think he has a very good spatial awareness to him. Like, he understands how to settle in the gaps between two defenders in a zone. And like, that's just absolute money. All you have to do is have Seth look at him, right? I mean, there was that one play where he freed up down the left sideline. And we ended up not throwing to a wide open man. Again, not that it mattered. Not that it mattered.
He wasn't even looking that way. The play was on the other side of the field. But
it was tough.
But you got to give props to the defense turnaround after halftime, forcing 4 turnovers, 3 picks, a fumble recovery, a tutty. Simeon Blair, I think, player of the game, at least from a Memphis standpoint, AAC honor roll, Blake Watson honor roll. What Simeon, he had a pick and a fumble recovery?
He scored the touchdown, didn't
No, he didn't. He got pushed out at like the 8.
It was Malik.
It was Malik Feaster.
Feaster,
Which, let's be honest, he got there early.
I didn't see that.
Okay.
I didn't see that.
Was it called on the field?
It was not called on the field. I'm
Then
just
it-
saying
then it
it was
didn't happen.
a little early. But I did text TJ as soon as that happened, because I feel like that's the play that always happens to us. The ball just bounces,
never bounces
where it
our
needs
way.
to go for the defense, and that was like the first time in the history of anything it's ever bounced our way.
I'll take that back. Now that I think about it, it's saying like it's the one time the ball bounced our way. When Jeff blocked that field goal, that ball bounced right up into his hand in stride. That was a little absurd. Yeah. But those are the football lords helping us out because they know we're due.
Okay, so two times.
2. I'll take 2.
In the last 20 years.
Yeah. That's it's interesting. I am glad to see the turnovers after the game against Tulane, considering we had 3 dropped interceptions and like a completely different ball game if you catch just one of those.
Yeah,
I mean
they were all on the same drive, so if you catch one of them, the drive's over. But yeah, I mean, it felt like it'd been a while since we'd created turnover. So 4-1.
Sure.
Now I feel like we're gonna go out Saturday and not have another turnover for us.
Probably. Well,
But Matt Barnes said
talk
he
about that.
challenged the defense to create takeaways, and challenge accepted.
after seeing my tweet,
Yeah,
my Zeet, my ex.
I mean, they just look
What do
like
you
a
call 'em?
totally different.
Oh, without question, they were getting pressure. Guys were not wide open. We were gang tackling. Like, it wasn't just one guy there with his arm sticking out. There were 2 guys, 3 guys there. It honestly seemed like the first half was such a free for all. In the second half, UAB was like, "Hey, let's go back to our game plan." And it's like that's the one thing that Memphis had actually like, planned for. So when stuff goes awry, like we didn't know how to handle it. But when they stuck to the game plan, Memphis is like, "All right, we know what they're doing here. We're good."
Yeah.
So.
All right, final thoughts from the UAB game.
Oh, I mean,
By the way, did you know that it was a real rack of ribs that's in that? Like, they've cased it in a bronze casing. They said that on the
that's
telecast,
disgusting. No,
that it was a real rack of ribs. That's,
No.
they said it on ESPN.
no, it's not.
They said there is a real rack of ribs.
They also
in
said
there.
John Morant's 35th player in the NBA, so I don't believe them.
Well, that's same company, different people.
You're right.
Not exactly.
You think if you busted that thing open, there's a rotting rack of ribs in there?
No, because I don't think that's how
It's like
that
they
works
just
at
like
all.
paper.
It doesn't even make sense.
They paper mache'd it and then put bronze all over.
I don't believe that. I think they got some fake news there. This is somewhat related. Before we move on from UAB, as of today, Memphis has an 11% chance to win out per ESPN's FPI. And they are
11? That's higher than I would have thought.
11%, yeah. And they
Although
are third in the American on remaining schedule win out percentage Any guesses who is higher? I think one is obvious.
Well, I know that SMU is higher. They've put them at like 75% chance to win.
37% actually.
I'm saying to win the conference.
Oh yes, it is absurdly high.
It's like 63 or something. I saw it the other night when they were destroying. Who'd they destroy?
Temple.
Any guesses at who is next highest percentage in the American to win out?
It's got to be Tulane.
UTSA.
FAU has a high. Us
They're higher than us. This is one team between us and SMU
to win out.
to win out. In terms of percentage.
It's
of
not
course.
UTSA or Tulane.
It is not.
USF.
No.
Rice.
No. Keep guessing, guys. This is ridiculous.
What? Charlotte? No, because they're playing us.
USF.
No.
Navy. What the hell's going on? There's no teams left, Timothy.
Yes, there is.
There's only one team left.
Well, we know it's not
UAB.
easy
It's UAB.
to win out the rest
To
of the
win
game.
out the rest of the
They
games.
must have played trash the rest of the season.
Oh, it's just I looked at that and I was like, well, this could turn out into like a decent win here.
FAU, Navy, Temple, and North Texas are their remaining games. I don't know.
On paper, like that could turn out to a decent win. Like not because like they're playing all the bottom feeders, but like to string out that long of a span. I mean, they're basically, if you do that, I mean, what are they now?
I don't know. I don't see it.
2-6.
Y'all think Navy's not going to run all over UAB in their defense?
I mean,
Come on, man.
They probably will, but I still think Navy
I don't think
It's so
UAB's
hit or
not
miss.
winning out. What is their percentage to win out?
12%. I mean, it's 1% higher than us. It's not anything crazy like that. I mean, it is, let's see, a 5% chance to win the conference per ESPN, FPI, of course. I don't know. So I have to announce that because some people don't really trust FPI.
I mean, it's wide open.
I think
You
it's definitely wide
still are there. You went out and you're making the title game. It would just at that point in time be where is it? Depending on what Tulane would do, it's are you hosting or are you traveling somewhere?
open. Sure.
If you went out, you get in over SMU, you have the tiebreaker, and they would have 3 losses. UTSA would need to lose, but you're assuming they lose to Tulane. They would have 3 overall losses, so you win that tiebreaker too.
So is UTSA the last like hard game for Tulane?
We don't play. Yeah, I mean,
Well, right. I'm not
unless
sleeping on the Rice game.
you're counting at Rice this week,
Yeah.
which I
sleeping
wouldn't.
on it.
I
It's
wouldn't sleep
UTSA
on
and
any.
Temple. USA and Tulane. Where's
It's
it at?
at Tulane.
That's a Tulane win.
They do
I
have to
think.
go to at FAU. Maybe Tom Herman can pull something off.
I
But
thought
at,
so. Back when they
at
had
East Carolina, terrible. Tulsa, awful. I mean, not even a chance. But they struggled at home with North Texas this weekend. Only won by 7.
solid segue there because I don't think North Texas is all that bad.
Our great friend of the program is going to make fun of us, but TJ and I are both. I don't feel like over the top confidence going into this game.
Well, I mean, I know
it's
what
Seth
over the
Homecoming.
top.
I know he's going to have a packed out section at UNT Stadium, but they are leading the conference offensively in yards per game at 470 yards. Their QB, Chandler Rogers, junior out of Mansfield, Texas.
He's good.
1,700 yards, 4 tutties. You know how many interceptions he's thrown? One.
Yeah.
All year. They got the conference leader at wide receiver in Macklin. Jamori Macklin, 33 receptions, 658 through the air, 9 tutties. My guy
pretty good,
averages
man.
20 yards a catch.
That's good.
Don't like that at all. 5'11", 183 out of Kirkwood, Missouri. One of those smaller wide receivers, shifty, fast.
Sure.
The kind of guy that gives us fits.
Yeah, I mean they're a very good offense statistically, right? 290 yards a game through the air, 180 yards a game, which was really about 200 yards on the ground against every team but Cal and Tulane. So I don't know if they are good or if they just play bad teams or not, but like statistically they look great on paper, and we just watched them against Tulane. For anyone that jumped in there, they looked good.
Yeah.
They moved the ball.
I mean, they got down 21-0 early, came back, lost 35-28. They're also third, right behind us by a point in the conference in points per game, 34.6 points a game.
They are, so we were talking about Chandler Rogers. I think he protects the ball, and he has the ability, like Seth, he has the ability. New statement there. He doesn't turn it over, and
End point.
yes,
Okay.
and like Seth, I wouldn't say he's like uber athletic by any means, but he has the ability to extend plays and to scramble out and get your first downs. And we just saw it against UAB with the Trace, whatever that guy's name was.
Trace Campbell.
Campbell, like we, us like any other team, right? I don't think this is anything unique to Memphis. Like we struggle with mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
We respect the pass and everyone drops back, and all of a sudden you've got 10 yards to run. So it's going to be interesting to see how we defend him against the ground because, again, not a runner, not a track star.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, they put up
smart enough.
the worry for me offensively is through the air. With Macklin,
Sure.
Rodgers not throwing picks. They put up nearly 300, right at 300 yards through the air passing. Like, they're going to be slinging that thing.
Yeah, I think, and they run it a lot too. Like I know we're sitting here talking about the pass, but they run it an awful lot. Like they are.
Yeah,
At
I mean,
an
their wide
up-tempo-
receiver's not bad. What's his name?
the wide receiver.
I mean, the running back.
I
Adai.
was like, we just talked about it. I can't say that guy's name. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Ayo Adai.
Yeah, I actually
Small kid, 5'7".
I follow. North Texas. And so I kind of get like an insight towards UNT. It just kind of helps me prepare for how we talk about the games and stuff like that. And the offense does not seem to be their concern. It's clearly the defense.
Well, I mean, they're putting up yards and points.
yeah, it's
And
clearly the defense.
if we come out like the first half at UAB, I don't know that. I mean, you're going to get yourself in a shootout.
Let's be real though, they ain't played nobody. North Texas hasn't played anybody.
Cal's not bad.
They just
And they
played
got
Tulane.
smashed
played-
by Cal.
I understand, but they also, you said they haven't played anybody. I'm just letting you know that's not true. They played Tulane, played them pretty close. I think Tulane is a very beatable team, but they also didn't ask Pratt to do much in that game. I think he threw it like, I'm making up the number off the top of my head, 20 times. Like it wasn't like he was out there
Yeah,
having
he
to
was
sling it around.
15 of 21 for 194 and 3 tutties. Threw a
Exactly.
pick.
Like they weren't asking him to do a ton.
Hughes had 20 carries, 120 on the ground.
So
For Rodgers, 35 of 51 for 345 and 2 tuds.
yeah, we were talking about that 9-yard play or drives. That's a team that's going to spread it out as much as possible and use the pass to just kill the clock.
50 passing attempts makes me want to throw up.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think he's good, and again, I think that you look at the team. I think they're what 2 or 3 win team, 3-win team maybe.
They're 3 and 4.
Yeah, 3-win team, and you're saying like, what are you talking about? They're good. They're obviously not good. They've lost to every
Look,
good team
good
they've
is
played.
an overstatement. I'm just saying on the road, we come out defensively, they can put up yards and they can put up points.
Yeah, they put up points, and
I don't
have
think this is
seen our
something you want
defense-
to get into a shootout with.
Exactly, and that's what every game is. I think they are wanting to get into a shootout. They run a 3-3-5, so I'm expecting to get another heavy dose of Blake Watson.
And this, to the point of defensively, they put up a lot of yards, but they also give up a lot.
Sure.
They give up 460 a game, which is near last in the conference. Give up 35 points a game, I think. So you should be able to, your offense should be able to take advantage of that, their defense. And it should be a Blake Watson. I mean, Blake Watson should be listed again on Big Game Boomers' top running backs of the week.
Yeah, and I think again 3-3-5.
BT should be coming in there in the goal line situation. He should have 3 tutties on the ground.
It sets up for the run to be good. It explains why teams are able to run all over them. It's 3-3-5. It's set to favor the pass.
In passing in the studio, we're the On the Bluff guys talking about how the line has improved, and I don't think that they're wrong.
I don't think they're wrong at all. No. And I think you can see it, right? There are visible holes now where there's not always been visible holes.
Big holes.
Big holes. We actually may be down an offensive lineman. I'm not sold.
And it may not be the worst thing in the world. If you ask TJ.
It's up there for interpretation. I'm not sold that that got me going blank. You messed me up. Jonah. I'm not sold Jonah's playing.
There's been some things put out there in the whole social media world that would lead one to believe that.
I don't know. You heard it here first if it's true, but I don't know how much it really matters, honestly. I think McLean did fine when he stepped in.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed there was no drop off at all.
Sure. I can't remember. I guess Hill goes from right tackle to left guard, which is the strangest transfer ever. And McLean just fills in at right tackle.
Yeah.
I said right guard. From right tackle to left guard, Hill comes in at right tackle.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was hard for me to explain. But back to my main point, I expect a lot of Blake.
Heavy dosage of Watson.
Maybe our first back-to-back 100-yard rushers since...
Do you think with Seth going home that they try to, get him to have a game?
No, I don't think they care.
Yeah, they probably
I don't think the game plan changes.
I think
at
you're
all.
right. I don't think the staff cares at all.
Because we just talked about it. Like, North Texas is going to try to control the clock. They're going to try to air it out and use up as much time as possible. They are a very fast-paced offense that just moves the ball, and then you start seeing, you'll notice that 3 minutes have gone by and they've gone 20 yards. They ain't going very far, but they're going to keep moving it. And then that one guy is just a bomb, no matter what. I don't remember his name.
This would be a game I would love to see the defensive line getting pressure.
I mean, yeah.
I think, would we have one sack against UAB?
Yeah, but
Tremonte had a sack.
They were getting pressure, though.
Let's have a big D-line game.
There were a couple where Coffee was back there, I think, twice.
And whiffing. What's it matter
Whiffing.
if you're back there and you're...
I know. He's coming back there so fast. I know.
slow
I
it
get
down
it.
a notch and lay a hit on somebody.
Yeah, I'm there. They're putting the pressure on it, and they're disguising it
Yeah,
well.
I mean, they're bringing it.
Anything we should be worried about with that defensively? You think we're good?
Us defensively or them?
Yeah, us defensively.
I mean, I am worried about their passing attack for sure. FPI gives us an 80% chance to win on the road. The line opened at 8. I think it's at 7.5. 2:00 ESPN Plus. They're in Denton, the home of Seth Hennigan. He's going to have a big crowd there. Capacity of 30,000, over under of 68.
Seems like a lot of points, but I get it, though.
Both these teams put up points,
yeah,
Timothy.
that's what I was saying. Both of them put up points. But you also just had Big Tiger D shut down a team.
I think it's 35 and 34 points respectively they put up.
Yeah, the over seems pretty safe.
If they hit their average, it's over.
I don't know. Do you think UNT is better than UAB? Because that's
Offensively, yes.
we didn't get, for what it's worth, a full strength.
I think I would say
UAB.
yes. I think offensively they are definitely better, and their defenses are probably very similar.
I don't think we got a full dose of 100% UAB.
I mean, right?
Because Zeno
didn't play.
Yeah, he's very similar to Rodgers in the sense that they can air it out.
But if you were a casual fan and all you did was watch the first half, you'd have thought UAB had 3 Heisman candidates at quarterback,
yeah.
and all 3 of them were backups.
I don't know about that, but
You may have had a passing tutty if Dilford put you in.
yeah, I could probably throw one. Maybe not though. Who knows? Anything else? You feel good? Score prediction?
Just give us a score.
I do think UNT is probably better than UAB. So I think it's going to be more of a higher scoring game. The question is, can Memphis build off the offensive performance?
You think it's going to be like last year's 44-34 game?
I don't know if it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be similar. I don't think that's the exact score, but yeah, I mean, the same mindset.
Yeah, I mean,
That it's going to be
I'm thinking
offense versus
something
offense.
42-31 or something.
I had 38-34, but I'm not even confident in that answer, honestly. But I'll stick to it because I have it.
So 38-34 and 42-31.
Yeah. What's the spread? 7?
7.5.
Memphis wouldn't cover in that one.
I like
That's
us to cover.
The first thing that came to mind was 38-34.
Ryan's about to start racking up these conference road wins.
I'm gonna change it, dude. I'm gonna go.
Get a little winning streak going.
I'm gonna go 42-34 because that sounds better.
Covering by a half point.
Yeah, covering and just all the points in the world.
There you go.
Definitely the over seems safe.
One thing we didn't talk about that Game Day put up and now the official football account has tweeted it. We have the longest streak in the nation of scoring 20-plus points.
It feels like a weird stat. I don't know why 20 is the marker there, and it also snuck up. I'd never heard the stat before that game.
Well, 20 is the marker because if it was 19, Michigan would have the longest streak in the country.
Why is it not 3 touchdowns? Why not 21?
I don't know.
It's just 20.
We must have had a game where we only scored 20.
Yeah, it's just a weird stat to me, but it's still cool though. I mean, I don't know that 20 points is like a bragging number. You know, if it was,
I mean, I guess if you're the only team in the in the last
yeah, I guess that's true.
22 games or whatever it is, you're the only team that scored 20-plus points every single week.
What's a respectable number to put up in a game? Like your average touchdowns, like 28?
I was thinking, when you said that, I was thinking, if you can put up 30 points a game, I think you're good.
And that's a lot of points, I think.
Yeah.
That's big kudos to the Tigers SID department and Scott Burns over there, because that is a hell of a stat to find to pass along to the ESPN
that's the thing.
guys.
I don't even think that was our stat. Game Day put that out there.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the ESPN announcers on the game mentioned it, and I'm like, that clearly came from the SID department.
No, it was on the game. Game Day was doing like a, hey, coming up on ESPN2 is Battle of the Bones, and showed the Memphis has the longest active streak of scoring 20-plus points a game. Which 20 is weird, but I mean, I guess it is impressive that you hadn't gone less than that in 21 games.
It's impressive because you're the only person who has done it, but it does seem just like an arbitrary number. Like we just moved the goalpost to that number for whatever reason, you know. Kenny, you mentioned Scott. Shout out to Scott, who got like 10 minutes of TV time with those ribs, dude.
Yeah, he did.
It was finding his way in the background there.
Holding them junts up.
Trey, anything else football?
Oh,
you know what
what?
we didn't talk about? The little wormhole.
Oh, speaking of social media, are we looking too much into that? For those of you who haven't looked, if you want to check out Demir Blankumsky's Twitter, he's changed his new profile pic to I discovered if you Google wormhole, the picture he's using pops up, but TJ thinks it's a black hole.
It's a portal.
Others think it's a portal.
It's a portal to another universe.
He searched wormhole, though.
I don't know, dude. I think it's... I know a lot of people have thought portal.
I mean, he was just player of the game last week.
Portal doesn't make sense because you're going to have to sit out, unless you're just prepared to sit out a year for funsies. Like, whatever.
Yeah, but like, is he thinking about that?
I don't know.
At this point in time?
That's a good question.
I have a question for
I mean,
you
it's also
about that.
weird to make that your overall just profile picture.
Yeah. I thought maybe he was calling someone a black hole. Like, hey, man, you're a black hole.
But it's not a black hole, it's a wormhole.
It's not a black hole.
Yeah, you guys, that is not a wormhole.
TJ,
though.
I sent TJ, hey, he Googled wormhole to find this picture, and TJ starts texting me like the scientific definitions of these, and I'm like, bro, I'm not a scientist. I'm just telling you what the dude searched.
Well, we don't know that he... from last week's show.
Me too.
They need something.
Sorry, mom and dad.
Ridiculous.
Let me ask you this about the wormhole, black hole, portal picture. Is that something the coaching staff would bring up?
I think so.
I don't know.
You know that they're watching Twitter and stuff, though.
Ryan is not on social media right now.
He may not be, but he's got
makes it
somebody
adamant.
out there.
Yeah, I think it's just a dude being
I mean, you've
dude.
seen people in the past tweet stuff during the season, and then it's very quickly deleted.
Well, this wasn't.
And I know. That's why I'm saying, like, maybe he's got a science test this week. I don't know. I don't think it means what we think it means.
I think it's just maybe he thinks it's a cool picture, dude.
Maybe he's taking an astrology class or something.
It's from popsci.com, Popular Science.
Look,
It says the picture that's the article is about, there's a chance the black hole at the center of our galaxy is actually a wormhole. and the picture is of a wormhole. It's also just a cool picture.
I think we're thinking too much of it, dude. I don't think it's anything.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything. I mean, he retweeted the score. He's retweeted a bunch of other stuff.
I will say his Twitter profile just says playmaker ... I wanted to say at one point that said at something, but I could be wrong. I don't want to speak into existence.
Can you look at what people's Twitters used to look like?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just a picture.
Why don't you just DM him and ask him?
No, dude. First of all, I don't care that much.
I'm DMing him.
I don't care that much.
I'll let you guys know. Get in the Discord. I'll tell you what he says. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got a basketball game this week, TJ.
It feels so weird.
Does it count as this week? It's Sunday. Sunday's the first day of the week, so I guess it's technically
That's
next
a
week.
whole nother argument.
We got a little basketball. We got fade or ride, TJ, however you want to put it. Thunder picks, and we'll rate this brew. We'll be right back.
Bluff City Media and Bluff City NIL are proud partners of Coaching for Literacy, a Memphis nonprofit using the power of sports to impact childhood literacy. When you donate to Bluff City NIL through Coaching for Literacy, your gift is 100% tax deductible. This partnership is a win-win-win. Tiger student athletes win in the NIL landscape. Coaching for Literacy wins by engaging Tiger student athletes in this monumental cause. And most importantly, elementary students in Memphis receive support to become strong readers. To donate today, visit coachingforliteracy.org/bluff-city.
I don't think Seth has progressed since his freshman year, and I think that's pretty obvious. I think he's regressed in a lot of ways.
Especially turnovers. That's the biggest one.
In managing how he throws the ball and where he throws the ball and the timeliness of throwing said ball. I think he has regressed in putting the ball in harm's way. That much is very obvious, but there's a lot of reasons that could be the case.
Turnovers don't come from a vanilla or lack of creativity on offense. They just come from, most of the time, bad ball placement.
Yes.
Or bad reads.
Yes.
You can't place turnovers on an offensive system. And I don't know if it's set.
You can place bad offense on an offensive system.
Yes.
And the lack of sort of
explosiveness,
running game, all those other things. Place that directly on the offensive system. 7 picks?
Yeah.
No. Can't do it.
That's on ball placement. And
that's on 2. That's on number
reads.
2 himself.
Yeah.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
This Tiger basketball thing is interesting going forward because we like to say when we're patting ourselves on the back as a community, like Tigers play in a non-Power 5 conference and they can still get 18,000. In vain.
Right.
They don't. My kids would not know any Memphis basketball player from this team, from last year's team. And I just don't know if kids are growing up with it the way you and I grew up with it.
It doesn't mean the same to them.
That's something that university is going to have to figure out going forward.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Timothy, we got a ball game next week, this week.
We do.
Depending on how you look at your calendar.
Stop it.
TJ, are you a Sunday's the first day of the week kind of fella?
No.
It's the last day of the week.
It's the last day of the week.
Interesting.
Sunday's absolutely the first day of the week.
No, hear me out, Kenny. What's the weekend? Explain to me the weekend.
The weekend is Friday night, Saturday.
No, it's not.
Then the start of the weekend is the start of the next week is
There he is.
Sunday.
This guy, the Freudian slip. You kidding me, dude? Sunday is not.
The weekend's like too ends.
No,
right?
it's
Look
not.
at the
That's
count.
the worst.
Sunday's the
No,
first
that's the
one.
yeah, 100%.
Saturday's
Look-
the last one.
No.
The week is the
No,
books in
wrong.
between the ends.
What are you
Anyway,
guys doing this weekend? Oh, I'm going to watch football on Saturday. Sunday, I'm going to go to church and then hang out with my family. That's what you say. Something like that. You don't say just your plans for Friday and Saturday, and you just don't talk about Sunday. That's wrong. That's literally wrong.
Anyway, we play Lane College at the Forum on Sunday at 2 p.m. Timothy, do we beat them by more or less than we did last year? We beat them by 34, 96-62.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to set the line at 44 and a half.
That's an absurd.
42 and a half.
What was the spread technically of last year?
I don't know what the spread was. They're probably
No, I'm saying what was the
Oh, we
difference?
won by 34.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. 44 and a half is a lot.
38 and a half.
It's probably a push, but yeah. I think it'll be about 38 and a half.
Wow.
You got to think this year's team they're coming at you from all angles, right? It's not last year was three
every
guys. Let's be
night,
real.
it could be a new player of the game, leading scorer,
Yeah.
somebody going off.
Last year, seriously, if you took away DeAndre, KD,
We haven't even gotten to see David Jones in a Tiger uniform yet.
it feels kind of.
Oh, he's so good, guys. I've seen him.
Why don't you just rub it in our face?
I just that's the thing, man. I think you could have Quinterly, you could have Caleb Mills, you could have David Jones. Like there's just so many different dudes.
Jordan Brown,
like,
Malcolm Dandridge.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you this.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. Malcolm is in better shape than I've ever seen him right now.
I don't care. Is he healthy?
He's healthy. He's in better shape
Is
than
he
I've ever seen him.
healthy? Like healthy.
Yes.
Just because he's in better shape than you've ever seen him doesn't mean he's healthy because the dude's been beat up his literally entire
I've
career
seen
here.
him. I've seen him, TJ.
Literally, this dude has been hobbled for all 7 years he's been here.
I'm saying at the beginning of this year, he is in better shape than I have seen him at any point since his sophomore year in high school.
Look, dude, it's now or never. I mean, quite literally,
Literally.
right?
Literally.
Yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
going to
say
be real good to get some Tiger ball on Sunday, though.
they will beat them by more. To go back to your original question, it is going to be nice. It also kind of forget that it's basketball season. Technically, we're dipping our toes in the basketball season water.
Just getting them a little bit.
Well, we
Just
better get in.
testing out
Hey,
the
you better jump
water.
in the deep end soon because it's coming.
It is that it is. When's the first game?
November 6th.
6th.
Yeah. We take on Jackson State. Is that right?
And then it's Missouri,
Why did I think Jacksonville State?
Jackson State without.
Without old Coach Hardaway at the helm.
Whatever. Dude.
It's
Do you
not
think
going
that's
to
a worry?
matter.
Yeah. Do you think that matters any?
I think so.
I think it-
maybe not versus Jackson State, but versus Mizzou.
I think in the Mizzou game, it gives me a little bit of a worry. That's a tough environment up there.
Who do
Columbia.
you think is going to stand in and be the head coach? The
Obviously,
acting
Rick.
head coach.
Slick,
Correct.
baby.
You think
Slick.
so?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I don't know, man. I'm just asking.
You think it's going to be ALO?
I'm just
No.
asking. Just asking.
Ooh.
Just asking.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter against Jackson State and then Alabama State, but that Missouri game, it could. I mean, I don't know. You got somebody like Rick Stansbury. He's coached plenty of games, so it may not be that big of a deal. But
I think the talent disparity. I shouldn't say disparity.
Against
Mizzou's
Missouri?
good. Mizzou's very good. So that's I'm trying not to say disparity, but
you did say it.
I know. But I'm actually trying to reference this year versus last year. So I don't want to call it a disparity necessarily, but the fact that this year's team seems just so much more deep than last year's team. Like there are
I mean, it's not even a good night and day.
literally last year was three guys, right? I'm not exaggerating. Would
Who's
you
the
say
third?
Who's the third?
freaking
Jade?
Elijah?
Yeah, no, not Elijah. I can't go. I'm going blank on his name.
Keontae?
Keontae, thank you. And only for a little bit, because he was leading the conference in
Because
three-point
he was
shooting.
punching walls.
Yes, I think that it was basically a three-headed team last year. I mean, obviously a two-headed team, but you had
Two-headed team with like a
With a nub.
Like,
a-
like that
like
little
a-
appendage,
like
that
a
goes extra.
wart that-
yeah.
with the
It,
I was like, are you growing another head?
I mean, obviously, you couldn't just leave him wide open. Was more so my point.
Well, until he broke his hand, then you could literally.
Well, he wasn't playing at that point, so it didn't count. But this year, it's coming at you. I think there's 6 different guys that could just go hard on you against any game, right?
Yeah.
So it's a different beast this year. I think it's probably the easiest way to word it.
Yeah.
But
With the game being on Sunday, and we still haven't heard anything about DeAndre, are you kind of letting that ship sail?
no, I think that they still pursue that with every chance.
Oh, I'm not saying
right?
that they aren't going to continue to pursue it, but are you moving on? Are you holding out hope that DeAndre will suit up?
No, I think if you were to ask me today,
Just get him here before the NCAA tournament starts.
yeah, that should work, right? That seems simple enough. No, I think you move forward with what you got, and if you get him, great, you adjust. But I'm not holding out hope. We've been holding out hope for a while.
I mean, TGR, I don't know. We'll see. Would love to have an answer before Jackson State, but
Would love to have an answer on what TGR means first, and then DeAndre's return.
I don't know. I don't feel good about it. I think I'm just moving on without him.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to. Look, you've got guys here. Like, I can't be spending days focused on someone, on what could be, when I know what I have here.
Yeah.
And I'm getting these guys valuable minutes together and valuable runs together. I can't be like, okay, well, you'll play this position for 25 minutes until DeAndre comes back. Then we'll readjust. Like I said, you can't practice that.
What do you think he's doing right now?
He was working out today
I would say hopefully he's
Where?
working out, but
in Houston. They a gym over there posted a video of DeAndre working out.
So is he enrolled in class?
I think he is.
I mean, he would have to
would
be,
have to be,
right?
Yeah, he's enrolled in master's degree
I
classes,
said math.
All
He's
online.
enrolled in math.
all online. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be.
Let me just tell y'all this real quick before you move on.
If it's not what TGR means, I don't care.
I don't know what TGR means.
I've already said what TGR means.
What does it mean?
I can't say that.
I think Sane was right. This is getting ridiculous.
I was going to make a joke, but the first thing that came to mind was highly inappropriate, so I can't say that. So
Okay.
I don't know what it means.
Let me just tell y'all this, man. David Jones could quite possibly be the best shot creator in the conference this year.
Could be Conference Player of the Year candidate.
He's so nasty.
Could he?
You disagree, TJ?
It's not.
Kenny, I'm asking you, could he be a Conference Player of the Year candidate?
Yes.
That's all I need to know.
I'll believe it. when I
TJ
see
hates
it.
that so much.
I'll believe it when I see it.
He is.
How many Conference of the Year potential candidates do we have on the roster?
7.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's 7, but
Potential candidates. We're not saying they're going to win. We're just saying, hey, they're up there.
if you told me guys who had a realistic shot, the answer is like 4,
Name
Okay,
them.
who?
maybe. Quinterly, Mills. If you want to say David Jones, I'll let you say it. It's not going to be someone I list. And Brown.
Okay. No Malcolm? Best shape he's ever been in.
Still, I haven't seen that. I'm just trusting Kenny's word on that.
Where would you, if you don't have DeAndre starting off against Jackson
State.
Bill, would you? Who would you start at the 4?
Nick Jourdain.
Really?
Yeah. I think only because, what are you saying, as opposed to David Jones?
Nope.
Or who?
Jaquan.
I see. I want Jaquan coming off the bench with Jones because I know you're going to punch someone.
You want
in the mouth
David and
nonstop.
Jaquan coming off the bench? I think they're both going to start.
Yeah, I think they both do.
Well,
too.
the only reason I say bring them off the bench is because no matter what, you're going to have viable threats out there. But
So let's
I
play this
also-
game. Who's your starting 5 on Sunday?
Quinterly, Mills,
Obvious.
Brown at the 5,
Obvious.
Jourdain at the 4. It's really that wing that I'm still trying to figure out. That 3 guy.
No, sir. No.
Trey,
Jade-
who's your starting
Jaden.
5?
If it's not Mills, Quinterly, David Jones, Walton, Jordan Brown, I will walk out of the FedEx Forum.
That is your best 5. I think that comes down to, if your question is, how can I put the best 5 on the court? That is your best 5 unanimously. That's your best 5. But at the same time, what is your bench at that point? Who are the next guys? Young.
Jalen, Jaden, Malcolm, Nick Jourdain, and Jonathan Pierre.
See, I don't know. I really don't know. I could see where Walton would get the 3 and you'd bring David Jones off.
But this also isn't. I mean, it's not the NBA where you're bringing in 5 off the
I know,
bench.
I know.
Some of these dudes are not going to sub out.
I think that, just me personally, I would rather David Jones come off the bench and just crush 6 man of the year because I know I can trust in him to get a bucket. Whereas
I mean, that is Jaden Hardaway's award to lose. 6 man of the year.
I think that Jaquan is best suited in a
Are you
role.
rolling your eyes because you think he's starting?
No.
You can't win 6 man of the year if you start.
No. I just think that Jaquan is better suited in that starting role. If you ask me, I think that's who would start. But that's just what I would do.
Interesting.
I want David Jones, all the volume, all the bench, being the absolute bench.
You want to hear something interesting that Penny's been doing in practice? He's been putting Jaquan on the ball.
Well, we've seen it. I mean, we've seen tons of guys. Lester brought up the ball for times.
It works, man. Listen, we're talking about a 6'4" Lester who is a guard. We're talking about Jaquan's legit 6'8", 6'9".
You said it works.
It works.
In practice, it does.
Is that
Who's he
But do you
bringing
think-
the ball up with on the floor?
yeah? That's where
Javon's out there.
Really?
He's been running with the ones.
yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. But I think
So you got Walton bringing the ball up with both Mills and Quinterly off ball,
I haven't seen Mills practice yet. He's been dinged.
chipped as old
As
Ryan
old
would
Ryan
say.
likes to say, he's been
chipped up.
you allowed to say that, dude. You gonna get in trouble?
He said it, not us.
Penny said it.
I'm kidding. I don't know. I have no problem with Jaquan bringing the ball up. I think he's very capable of it, and he's obviously just a physically imposing man.
I mean, I think it also depends on the situation, right? Like,
Sure,
when is
we've
he
seen-
bringing the ball up?
We've seen DeAndre bring the ball up.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Is this
if
made basket out of the inbounds, or is this just like
I'm going to amend my second 5 lineup. I think Ashton might get some run before JP.
See, that was a name I forgot too when we were sitting here thinking about it.
I don't.
Ashton is
Before-
balling.
Before Pierre?
Ashton might be the best shooter on the team right now.
That's so tough with Jaquan on the team. That's
Well,
what
I mean both. But then you talk about, I'm telling you, man, David, his ability to off the dribble pop. Ooh, man.
I know. I'm telling you, that's why he, for me, is just going to own the bench with Young. I think those two together. Are
Do you think
great.
Ashton's shooting outweighs his defensive inefficiencies? Or do you think he's caught up defensively to be able to play?
No, I don't think he's caught up defensively yet.
Yeah, how the hell do you expect?
He's
him
a
to be caught
freshman.
up?
So do you
Yeah.
think he shoots well enough that it
I think
negates that?
Yes.
Wow.
I think Ashton's an 8-minute a game. Maybe.
Who's Ashton the best shooter we've had? Like, who comes close to what Ashton you've seen out of Ashton so far?
Avery Woodson?
I'm not talking to you.
That's the answer, though.
Oh, man. Interesting. At the position, at the size?
No, just pure shooter that we've had recently that he's comparable to.
I mean, you're talking about,
Like
No one has had that
like
size.
junior year Lester.
yeah, like you're talking about, like,
There was a point in time where every time Lester shot it, I thought it was
yeah. And then, I mean, even at the end of the year with KD last year, right? Like, you're talking about what was KD's career 3-point percentage?
I mean, he was like 36, 37, but last year he was dookie.
for the first
He was
three, for the first
30%, maybe.
Yeah, he was rough at the beginning of the year, without a doubt. But I think Ashton's shooting is so, especially with where Penny has him on the floor,
Are we talking about spot up? Or is he creating his own shot too?
he's not a shot creator yet.
Oh, he's just catching.
So he's
shoot.
just finding his spots on the floor or getting it to him and he's knocking them down.
See, this is the problem.
I don't hate that.
I don't know how much faith I have in a freshman who is not physically. I don't want to say he's not physically gifted, but in comparison to a Jalen Duren or even an Amani Bates, who is just extraordinarily long. Like to me, he just doesn't have either of those.
Ashton is longer and bigger than Imani.
A bit, dude. I know kids that are
He's longer?
that weigh more than Amani.
Oh, I forget how little Amani's arms were.
Yeah, he's very thin, but like if you looked at
I
his
mean
wingspan,
thin,
he
but-
was like 6'11" wingspan. Like it was definitely a plus wingspan.
I asked Penny in the last availability. I asked him, I said, there's certain players on a basketball team that when the ball's in their hands, good things happen. Whatever that may be. It might not mean a basket. It might just mean the right pass, the right position, wherever it is, whatever they do on the court, good things happen when when the ball's in their hands. And I asked him, I said, who's that for this Tigers team? And he said, Ashton and Javon.
Such a dad statement, dude. Of course, not gonna say his son sucks. No, I'm kidding.
TJ.
You know, I'm not trying to talk down on Ashton by any means. It's just for me, he is a freshman, and I don't know how much faith I put in a true freshman who, again, physically, I just don't know if I trust him to make a big impact, right? I think he'll be a sub 10 minute. I think I said 8 minutes a game earlier in the year or earlier in the podcast.
In the role that they're going to put him in,
I don't know
he's
what
going to
that
be
means.
great.
That just means a corner shoot guy.
No, I'm saying like
It's like 1, 2 threes a game.
with what they expect out of him, they're not asking him to come in and be Amani Bates, right? Handle the ball, be the lead guard.
Lord, I would hope not.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying is they're not expecting him to be that.
Come in
So
and turn the ball over and get knocked off the dribble.
can't even bring the ball past half court.
Here's the problem: is I think he's going to be the 9th rotation guy.
I don't know about that.
What? What do you mean? Just mathematically, it just seems like that's how that would work out.
I don't know about that. I mean, listen, his size and his shooting ability.
His defensive liability, his physical immaturity that you're also forgetting.
You're also talking about a team that had Tyler Harris that was a massive defensive liability. We're not talking about that level of defensive liability.
I don't know that to be true.
Okay. I'm just
I
saying.
mean, we'll see it, obviously, right? Right now, we're just
they
talking
were
out of our
liabilities
ass,
for different
essentially.
reasons.
Yeah, like Tyler physically.
Tyler was scrappy as hell. The dude was like a gnat
I
defensively.
know, but he was also 5'9", and he's
I
not
know.
blocking
I'm just saying
anyone
they
who's
were
6'4".
they're different liabilities. Tyler's because of his size. I think Ashton is more so because of his
I think he has
athleticism.
no lateral movement.
Yeah. I'm saying those are totally different.
I know they are, and I'm not saying Ashton is not competent enough by any means. I just don't trust a freshman whose only pro, from all intents and purposes that I've seen, is that he can catch and shoot. Like I don't trust that guy to be in the top 9 of rotation or higher than the top 9.
And I think we're sitting here dissecting a guy's game who I agree with you. I don't think he's going to be there's not going to be a ton expected from him this year.
Sure.
So, and that's fine. So I think that's fine.
And they don't need a ton out of him.
They don't need a ton out of him.
Exactly. I'm just tempering expectations. That's
You know who was top 9 in the country in a list, though?
I know this answer.
Who?
Javon Quinterly.
Yeah. Andy Katz had him as his number 9 top impact transfer. of
Nate
the
Oates
year.
didn't.
We'll get to that in just a second. But Javon also listed as one of the 20 candidates for the 2024 Bob Cousy Award, awarded to the top point guard in college basketball.
It's a 5th
You know
year
what
guy.
former Alabama point guard is not on that list that we were in the running for?
Jaden Bradley.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're a 5th year guy, you got to be on that list,
I would hope so.
right?
You've been playing a lot of college basketball. But yeah, to Nate Oates' comments, do you think that those were directed specifically at a particular point guard or just thrown out in general?
Do you have the comment in front of you, just in case anyone doesn't know what we're talking about?
If you missed it, I think it was in his availability last week, right? Is that right, Kenny?
Yep.
He said something to the effect, Nate Oates was like, he was talking about their transferred point guard, Aaron Estrada. Said his work ethic. I think it makes us a lot better as a team when you don't have to beg your point guard to bring effort every day.
See, I'm not taking that as a shot.
What?
I don't take that as a shot at Quinterly or Bradley personally.
Who's that a shot at?
I don't
then?
think it's a shot. I
Bro,
think he's
you're
just
crazy.
making a
See, I
statement.
think TJ's going with what Nate was trying to say. Is he was just saying, like, it's nice to have somebody that plays as hard as Aaron, and he said it in that way.
Yeah, I think it was. He didn't mean it to come off as a shot, but it sure as hell came off. It sounded Yeah, like the optics of it sounded like he was taking a shot.
I mean, Penny commented on it. He said, if you're Jaden Bradley or Javon Quinterly, you were at that program last year, you got to
take
take
offense.
that. Yeah, you got to take that to heart.
Yep.
It feels like a shot right at you. Although to me, it's like Jaden Bradley was just your starter for most of the year, and you made a switch. So I don't know how much that really is of Javon Quinterly, and I don't think that's going to be an issue with the fifth-year senior that's on his last ride. So, like, I'm not worried about it, but it was a weird thing to say.
It
and then
was
come
weird
back
to
and be
say.
like, I wasn't really talking about anybody specifically.
I think it was a situation where he made a comment and didn't think it through of like how it sounded until someone was like, are you just trying to shit on him? Or like,
Yeah.
what's going on there? He was like, oh,
I don't know. It wasn't like he came out and was like, he brings 110% every day.
Yeah.
It's like at some point in his career, he's had to beg his point guard to show up.
That could be his team right now, for all we know. Who's another point guard that's on that team? And Penn State game.
So easy.
It felt like it. They kind of flirted with it at the end. They got a
Unders are
little
so
weird.
boring, though.
Yeah, that was kind of boring.
The shock of the century. I'm now 5-2-1.
Why is that a shock?
Because Missouri, South Carolina felt like a lock in the over.
It did feel like it.
But South Carolina couldn't freaking score.
Yeah.
34-12. Mizzou might be legit.
I think they are legit. We said that when we played them.
We didn't know for sure, but they
Well, I think a win against LSU would have painted a bit of a
Really,
different
yeah.
picture. But like they looked competent. They beat South Carolina, who's a good team.
pretty handedly.
Yeah. So I think offensively they've got something going. Obviously, we've seen the pass rush. I don't know why I said pass rush. Pass rush.
That's 7.2% getting to you.
Yeah. The pass rush is really good. I mean, it's effective against everyone they played. So
Yeah. All right, so Timothy, you are now 5-3.
5-3.
Okay, give me this week's ride, TJ.
Let's get real weird. I am going with Wyoming +5 against Boise State, mostly because we saw Wyoming look real awesome versus Texas for a bit there, and they've just looked super competent all year long.
And got that big win against Fresno State.
Yeah.
Boise's
Boise has not looked super competent all year.
given up 3-score leads
yeah.
the past 2 weeks.
2 3-score leads, which is bananas to me, and I would be shocked if their head coach is retained.
What'd you say that's at? It's at +5.
+5, Wyoming +5.
All right, we'll ride with TJ. I'm going Oklahoma State -7.5. They got Cincinnati at home Saturday at 7 p.m. Cincinnati is awful.
Dog water.
They've lost 5 straight. Make it 6 on Saturday. I think Oklahoma State wins this by 10+.
You know what's interesting? I've seen articles come out that saying that Cincinnati should move on from Scott Satterfield already.
Wouldn't
It's year one.
doesn't matter. They're awful.
It is year one where the whole team was depleted, the staff was depleted, the whole team was either going pro or transferred. Like obviously, year one was going to be awful in a new conference. on
This
top of
bad?
that.
They're bad, TJ.
All of the teams that moved over are bad.
I don't hate it.
What's UCF right now?
I think they're 3-4,
That's not good.
3-5. They're not, but they've at least look
Sure.
respectable in games. I mean, they
They've
just
also
took
kept their
Oklahoma-
head coach.
Yeah, but
That's a big difference there.
okay, that's fine.
They're not a whole staff turnover like Cincinnati.
You're the one that just asked what their record would and
I
acted like they're as
understand,
bad
and
as
then
Cincy.
you said 3-4, and I'm explaining why they look good or relatively compared to Cincinnati.
I'm just telling you, Cincinnati's trash. They can keep Scott Satterfield if they want. I don't care. I just know they're going to lose by 2 scores to Oklahoma State this weekend.
A rumor has it they may go after Ryan Silverfield. Who knows?
Okay, they're just going to take all of our head coaches from every sport we have.
Someone's got to do it.
Interesting. Penny to Cincy, you heard it here first. All right, let's get into this crazy chain. I'm a big fan of this can, and maybe it's just the Halloween that's in me.
I think so. I was going to say the same thing.
We got a bat bird going on riding this trike.
It is a bat, and he's got like the West Coast Customs logo on a chain there. I think that's what that is. So when I hear crazy chain, obviously I think of crazy train, but this is obviously a chain because they have a bicycle thing going on. I think that's where they're going with it, at least. I can't really make out what the pattern on the back of the can is. It's gray.
Yeah, this is definitely for Ozzy.
If you can't see it, I mean, everything about it is
It's very black.
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne-ish, crazy chain, crazy train. Ozzy ate the head off a bat once. I think that was the thing he did.
Was that him?
I think so.
I think you're right. Gosh, can't you get rabies like that?
Probably. That's before me. That's way back when. Like, that's Kenny's days.
Did you ever watch that MTV Osbourne show? I used to watch it.
Sure.
The Osbournes? Isn't that what it was called? What are they up to now?
Oh, it literally says,
Yeah, I'm
reading
telling
your
you.
best Ozzy.
Yeah,
Timbre.
like it's definitely a...
Yeah, it's definitely Ozzy. I was just going off the color scheme. The can is decent. I mean, the crazy chain font is literally a chain itself the entire way through. I mean, decent little can, dude.
I'm in the spirit.
6 out of 10 for
I
me.
mean, I don't listen to a whole lot of Ozzy Osbourne, but I watch the
I can't say I do.
Osbournes. It's a good can. Would you say 6 out of 10?
6.
666.
Well, I can give it a third 6, but everything about
You
this
could.
is
You
pretty,
could double the decimal.
you know,
That would have been fitting.
it's
But you
all
didn't
black
think
and
of it.
gray, man.
I'm there. 6.8.
Yeah.
Solid can.
What do you think of the beer, though?
It's very good.
It's very good beer, right?
Very good. I mean, this is a pint. I left one sip in there. It's been in there for about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe longer.
Any New England style hazy IPA I typically enjoy. So this one is pretty good. I will say
Another fine brew by Hampline.
the only knock on it is I do get that malty aftertaste that I can't seem to get out of my mouth. But I didn't have that until I let that bad boy sit there for a second and warm up, which I can't ever recommend letting any beer warm up ever. Like quite literally ever.
Yeah, warm beer's no good.
Pretty good though, man. I'll say like a 7.9. Like I really like it. I'm only taking off a little bit because of the maltiness.
Yeah, I'm going 7.7.
Okay. Crazy chain. Seems like it was a pretty good one for both of us.
It's a good Halloween brew.
Freaking,
You just
I didn't make
slung
it.
spray all over the room.
I didn't make
So,
it.
You didn't make it, and now there's crazy chain all over the place.
Worth a shot.
All right. Subscribe, like, comment. What is it? What's the number? 89% of viewers for our shows are not subscribers. Guys, just subscribe.
It's on YouTube.
Just press the button, man.
Just press the little
What's
tiny
it?
button. You'll get notified every time a new epi drops.
I mean, it's that easy. I subscribe.
I subscribe.
I subscribe.
We're making up we are the 11%.
Yeah, right.
The three of us.
Just subscribe.
Hit that subscribe, get over to bluffcitymedia.co. Check out the articles, all the coverage. You got the other shows. Like, subscribe, follow. Next week, come with the cold beer. Stay with the hot take. Peace.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports.